Hey friends, welcome back to Rita Talks. I'm Rita, and on this YouTube channel, I do share some of the thoughts, ideas that I've been thinking about, some of the things that have been going on in my life. And basically, I think lately the theme in my life has been trying to reconnect with my inner joy and basically to reconnect with myself in a way that my happiness comes from within rather than from outside. And at some point, during the past 2 years, that was the case. And then it slowly started to shift to become to start depending on other people. And so I'm just trying to find my way back again to that piece of state, to that state of peace that I was feeling at some point, and just basically trying to make myself happy rather than relying on external circumstances and other people to make me happy, and just have fun, and explore be curious, have fun, explore the things that I'm really curious about, and do the things that bring me joy, like, I don't know, music and reading and working out and like different stuff that brings me joy. That's what I want to try and do more of. And basically, I've been quite social over the past year, and that has affected my mood a lot, especially because some of the people that I've allowed to be in my life have actually, not been have been a negative influence on me. And basically, now I'm in a stage where I'm trying to find myself again. And yeah, trying to be okay with that and letting go of all of the fears associated of when you want to not have some people in your life. So yeah, I know my themes are not very over the past few days. Like, I've been talking about more or less the same thing, but it's okay. It's what's on my mind. So I'll just I'll just keep on being honest about how I'm feeling and what's on my mind. And another thing that I've been struggling with is this idea of being perfect, or wanting to do more than I'm already doing. And then basically, like, some extremely timely quotes as I was reviewing some of my screenshots. One from Alex Hormozy: "If you never stop playing, you win. Not making, not quitting, the ultimate winning skill." So this is something that I'm super conscious about, and that I'm trying to remind myself every day of. It's not about how fancy you do some things at a specific point in your life, but it's just about staying in the game long enough, with those small changes, with that small progress, is what matters. And basically, not quitting is the ultimate winning skill. And so that's a lesson that I'm definitely trying to remind myself of constantly. And yeah, like, basically, another tweet that's similar, that was posted by Alex Hormozy also, is that he's talking about himself, but this is what he says: "Whenever I get to a low point where I think, why do I even bother? I just try to remind myself that this is where most people stop, and this is why they don't win." And that's also basically in alignment with this. If you never stop, you won't lose, and the only way you lose is by stopping. And this idea of not quitting is literally the only thing that matters, and just to stay, like, even in the ups and downs, to stay consistent with the foundational habits. And that's the period in my life that I'm in. And to that, I will add another one, which basically I was looking at. I saw today on Twitter And this is a quote from Naval that says, it's becoming easier and easier to be social, but exceptional people are built in solitude. And this thing kind of gives me solace because I've been seeking and like longing for solitude lately, and I've been feeling bad about wanting it, and especially because the people, uh, like most people in life, view it as a bad thing. Like they view solitude as a bad thing, and so basically they view being alone as something that's not good. But it's generally the thing that I cherish the most in my life. It's this time that I spend alone and just being myself and being my most authentic self, basically. Because whenever, like, with most people in my life, I think it's just kind of a nature of people. Like, I always feel judged. Like, there are people who are less judgmental than others, but there's always like an undertone of judgment almost everywhere. And it's very rare to find non-judgmental people because even though that's something that I'm trying to be better at, I also am quick to judge. That's just because it's part of human nature. And so, like, I'm obviously trying to train myself to not jump to conclusions and jump to judgments. But it's just part of life. And so, basically, the only time that I'm genuinely, truly honest and like joyful and like authentic is when I'm on my own, because I'm not afraid of how people look at me, and I'm not constantly evaluating what do these people think about me, because I know I want it to not be the case, but I do care a lot about what people think of me, and I do it unconsciously, and it's highly biased towards a handful of people that I care a lot about what they think of me. And when I spend time on my own, it's as if I take a break from that, and I'm just allowed to be myself, and without fear of being judged, basically, and just have the time of my life, like listening to music, dancing, like doing all of the stuff that I really enjoy. And yeah, um, that's something like basically this quote just brings me solace that even though it's extremely rare that people seek solitude or enjoy it, it is solitude like that allows for people to become exceptional. And so my desire for solitude, my like my seeking of solitude is a good thing, even though 99% of people don't think it's the case. It is what's like, it is where basically I have to deal with my emotions and I have to deal with things head on, and I cannot avoid them, and I can just deal with whatever tough things that my mind takes me to, and then bring myself back. And yeah, it's and I can basically be the source of my own joy. And it's like just a huge mental work to be able to do that on a consistent basis. That's why it kind of fades over time, which is why like I'm somewhat looking for like a mechanism to make sure that it doesn't. Actually, these kind of videos, like these Rita Talks videos, are part of that mechanism, because the fact from like the idea that, or like the way that I've set it up, that I only publish 2 of these a week, and that basically I film way more than 2 every week, creates a huge gap between the time that I film something and the time that it actually gets published. And that's a good thing because it gives my future self the opportunity to absorb the good vibes from my past self. and yeah, it's like probably my single favorite thing about doing this. So yeah, just super grateful for that, and yeah, trying to learn to be with myself again, and learn to love myself and like have joy that's coming from within, because lately I've been relying on external factors to bring me happiness, and that never ends well. So and like it was a like very subtle shift over a period of a year, and like really subtle shifts that compounded into me losing that part of me for a little bit. So now it's all about getting that back and starting to build up my hope and belief in the things that are important to me back again. So yeah. Another thing is that basically today is Saturday, but even then I kept on checking this work thing, like this work end to end run, and like I noticed that something was wrong, and so I fixed it. And fingers crossed. I really hope we don't have any other issues, because, like, yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna start complaining again about this project, but yeah, let's just pray and hope that we don't have any other issues. But yeah, that specific part is now fixed. It turns out like some guy made some changes to the environment that I was testing on, and that was causing it to fail. So I reverted them back to the state before, and yeah, now it seems like it's working. At least that part stopped failing, and it moved on to a bit further down the flow. So let's just hope that the next part succeed. And yeah, I'm happy with that progress, and I just spent some time on it today, like maybe 30 minutes or something like that, just because it takes so long to execute, and so it takes so long to know whether it's working or not. So I just wanted to like get it out of the way and let it run, so that it succeeds or it does not. Like in that meantime, so I can just make at least more progress. And it was not that much work, it was like maybe 30 minutes of work, so definitely worth it for my peace of mind. Because if I hadn't done it, I was like, my mind would always be asking, what happened with that? What happened with that? What happened with that? So I'm glad that I did it. Anyway, I think my speech is starting to get incoherent. I think I'm not making any sense anymore. And that's just because I'm getting tired. It's already 2:26 a.m. So I'm just gonna go get some sleep. And yeah, thanks a lot for tuning in. You can click here to watch my previous video on this channel, the one right before this one, or you can click here to watch my latest video on the channel overall. Thanks again for tuning in. I hope you have a fantastic rest of the day, night, whichever time of day it is where you are right now. Bye for now, and I'll hopefully see you in the next one. Bye bye.